Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Monday, December 3rd, 2018. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. As part of its observance of World AIDS Day on December 1st, the Ministry of Health facilitated a workshop on November 30th, the aim of which was to sensitize healthcare workers to the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, TB and TB-HIV treatment guidelines. Tuberculosis and the TB-HIV co-epidemic remain significant public health issues globally. Between 2011 and 2015, 226 cases of TB were reported in the OECS, with 14 of those cases reported in St. Kitts and Nevis.
So while TB and the TB-HIV co-infection epidemic are not significant burdens, if not adequately addressed and controlled, they have the potential to become public health threats. These guidelines are therefore timely and will serve to provide up-to-date evidence-based guidance to you, our clinical and public health practitioners, on the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment and control of TB and TB-HIV co-infection. We have to always be alert and keep these two conditions foremost in our minds. We have been successful in achieving the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We certainly can rise to the challenge and work towards the targets of eliminating TB and also HIV as public health problems by 2030.
Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Judy Nisbet, speaking during the workshop's opening ceremony.
In keeping with the global TB strategy, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, and therefore by extension, St. Kitts and Nevis, are committed to a region free of tuberculosis by achieving the global targets of ending the TB epidemic by reducing the number of TB deaths by 95%, reducing the TB incidence by 90%, and ensuring that no family faces catastrophic cost due to TB. Similarly, the OECS and St. Kitts and Nevis have committed to the United Nations Joint Program on HIV and AIDS, UNAIDS, global strategy of ending AIDS, and to achieving the 90-90 targets. That is, 90% of persons living with HIV knowing their status. 90% of persons who know their status are on antiretroviral treatment. And 90% of persons who are on treatment achieve viral suppression as an intermediary milestone by 2020 towards ending AIDS by 2030.
World AIDS Day 2018 is being observed under the theme, Know Your Status. The Ministry of Health recently recognized ophthalmologists Dr. Raymond Hubie and Dr. Peter Foote and their teams for their continued outstanding contribution to the eye care program in Nevis. The presentation took place at the eye care clinic at the Alexandra Hospital on Friday, November 30th.
They have sacrificed and come here twice a year to assist us in our eye care program. It's very significant that this eye care program is here. We know that non-communicable diseases, they are prominent in our population, especially persons with diabetes. We estimate about 20% of the adult population is diabetic. And one of the complications of diabetes is diabetic retinopathy. And Dr. Hubie and his team has provided services to diabetics and others in the community. You have given persons the gift of sight, enhanced their quality of life, and has been dedicated, and we really appreciate that for yourself and your team. I know that your team, yourself, the overall coordinator, and you also have various other volunteers, including Dr. Foote, that has come here repeatedly as well.
For 13 years, Dr. Hubie has been coordinating a team which volunteers with the Nevis Eye Care program, hosting clinics twice per year in April and November.
We want to take the time to thank you for your dedication and your years of service to the people of, I would say, St. Kitts and Nevis, because we do have quite a bit of persons from St. Kitts who access care at the Nevis Eye Care program. So thank you once again for your time, and Ginger as well, that has really been a support to the program.
Well, I'm honored with this recognition, and it's definitely a team effort, including our team here on the island and my faithful wife and the many other doctors that help us out. It is a big team effort, but I also really appreciate this recognition, and it's always a pleasure to come back to Nevis.
Dr. Hubie and his wife also accepted a plaque on behalf of Dr. Peter Foot and his team, who were also recognized for their continued outstanding contribution to the eye care program in Nevis. The final in a series of town hall meetings, which is being hosted by the National Commission on Universal Health Care, will take place at the Jessop's Community Center tomorrow, Tuesday, December 4th. 4 similar consultations have already taken place. The consultations are intended to educate persons and receive feedback on the Green Paper on Universal Health Care for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. It includes issues such as financing options and proposed benefit packages. Tuesday's town hall meeting is slated to run from 7 to 9 p.m. Persons who are desirous of participating in the town hall meeting and require transportation for the event are advised to assemble at bus stops on the island main road by 6:30 p.m. 2 buses will be available to transport persons to and from the Jessop's Community Center. Still to come,
we're going to work with about 20 kids and create a mural, and the mural based on the life today.
We'll give the details after this break.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education hosted a training workshop for its administrative staff on Friday, November 30th at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall. Delcy Bradley King was the facilitator of the workshop.
The workshop is intended to give participants the skill, the confidence to deliver a much higher quality of service to the public. And so we're focusing a lot on non-verbal communication as well as verbal communication. And we're looking at telephone customer service as well, because we want to get persons to understand, or the participants to understand, that the customer on the phone is just as important as the customer in person. So we are going to be engaged in a lot of activities which will get them to practice the skills, to demonstrate the skills, so that they will feel much more confident and comfortable back on the job to deliver the service. And so we expect that once the participants apply what they're learning, and for some of them it's a reinforcement of what they know, but we expect that once they go back to their jobs and they apply this, that the customers are going to get much better service and they can feel much more comfortable interacting with them in the public service.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Kevin Barrett, expressed gratitude to the facilitator.
On behalf of the Ministry and Department of Education, and also the Library Services and the Information Technology Department, we want to tell you thank you so much for facilitating us today. And as you said, I'm sure the participants are going to be well trained. They're going to add some value to what they already have, and I'm sure our customers are going to see a noticeable change when they interact with our office staff and administrative staff. And we want to tell you once again, thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The workshop targeted persons from the Ministry and the Department of Education, Library Services and Information Technology. The Ministry of Education hosted a workshop on November 27th where 4 ceramic artists taught students of the Gingerland Secondary School the art of ceramic pottery at the Nevis Art Gallery. Organizer of the workshop, Konstantin von Wietenhoff, is also responsible for bringing the artists to the island.
I have had great support from Kevin Barrett, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, for pulling together these two projects that we have done so far. I would like to take the opportunity to briefly introduce our 4 artists who have come. Ofra Kutz, Shamai Gibsh, Shulamit Miller, and Adil Reiter. And when I talked to him about the idea of doing this project here to bring indeed really renowned artists to help maybe to inspire the children here up to a point and give them some new and other ideas, they very happily accepted the invitation, and so we are really glad and grateful for you all being here and doing this project with us.
One of the artists, Shamai Gibsh, spoke about the work the students will be engaged in.
We're going to work with about 20 kids and create a mural, and the mural based on the life today. One part of it and another half of it will be the life, how they see the life in another 20 years. And in between there will be the footsteps of all the kids on today's side. So when they come in another 10 or 20 years and look at the mural, which will be installed somewhere in the city, they can see this was me 20 years ago. So that's a concept. We hope we can continue to do it in the future.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Kevin Barrett, expressed gratitude to the artists.
We are hoping that workshops like these would inspire our children to get more seriously into art and what they could do with their creative minds and their creative hands. And we are very thankful for Konstantin for bringing these type of projects and workshops to us. So once again, on behalf of the Junior Minister of Education, Honorable Troy Liburd, and the Ministry of Education, we want to tell you thank you so much.
On Friday, November 30th, the artists also held an art exhibition at Charlestown Gallery where they showcased a number of pieces that are currently on sale. The exhibition will remain open to the public until Thursday, January 3rd, 2019. Charlestown Gallery is also open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Thursday. A portion of the proceeds of the sale of art will be donated to the Ministry of Education. That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing.